So for me, before joining soap cycling, to me, social entrepreneurship was something. When I think of social, I think of society, helping society. So I think entrepreneurship, I think of innovation and creativity, and so just basically, very simply, something new that aims at helping society. But after soap cycling, I really changed because I'm in the education department. So I realized that it was a lot broader than I really thought it was, because through working with the education team, which was aiming at designing a whole curriculum to promote soap cycling to high school students, I saw that in fact social entrepreneurship expands to empowering youth. It's about what the youth can do. And sometimes I think it's just so, the word entrepreneur throws me off, thinking that it's all about business, and business. But through learning, through taking part, being someone in the education team, I found out that it's about using the youth. It's about giving opportunities to the youth to expand and to empower them in order to contribute back to society. Actually, I learned a lot because previously I had been in other positions which would allow me to cooperate with other people in designing different activities, which was what the education team was doing. We were designing this curriculum for high school students in order to promote soap cycling. And so my major responsibility was to design the games, while the other intern would help with design the teaching plans, etc. So something really interesting I learned was about communication. I think it's such a cliche notion. Sometimes we abuse even the word communication, but I realized that not only verbal communication is so important, but even and not just about writing down, but it's really about understanding, the second part to communication. So for example, I remember as we were kind of trying to figure out this soap cycling society and what it would be like, we all had different ideas of what it would be, and finally after the first meeting I thought we had come to a conclusion and decided on one thing, and we had written it down and we had talked it through, but I realized that there was not a common understanding. So we had to go back and to discuss again so that make sure we were all on the same page. So to me, one of the greatest lessons I learned was about clarity and communication, and also ultimately understanding. Well, first of all, I have to clarify that unfortunately, I don't know exactly, those specific terms for each of these different types of businesses. But for me, when I think of charity, I think of it's such a big and broad term. Charity, I think of starving children in developing countries, where an organization comes and provides food, sanitation, and different things. And so comparing charity to social entrepreneurship, I would think it's different because in fact, I would think that it's a part of charity. I would think that charity is such a broad term that I would put it under, because I would think that using soap cycling as an example of social entrepreneurship, I would think that it is again ultimately helping people in need across the world. But I guess another element would be the idea of creativity and innovation, using a different way and using ways that are sustainable. And I really think that soap cycling does that because it's environmentally friendly. It's saving soap from going to waste. But on the other hand, it is helping people. So I think it is able to not only help people but be sustainable. So I think social entrepreneurship thinks of an even wider picture in some sense, but also under charity as in that it aims to help. Thinking about corporate social responsibility, I think about examples like fast food chain stores who hire the disabled or to work and things like that. But it's still mainly, to me, so corporate and social responsibility mainly is still a business, as in it still aims to maximize profit, and that is helping people might just be the sideline. But again, social entrepreneurship, I see it as involving taking a bigger part, expanding the scope of it, and that it allows people like the youth. And I mean, I think it's just a brilliant example of soap cycling because Mr. Bishop started it with just a group of university students, and look how far they've come and how far we've come as the entire soap cycling organization. So I think that compared to corporate social responsibility and social entrepreneurship, I see a greater involvement of of helping, and I see a greater involvement of creativity that is the focus and not just a sideline to just kind of tell people, oh yeah, well, I'm helping society too, but this is the theme of it. And thinking about business ethics, I think to me, business ethics is still so centralized in the business world, where I think about, how sweatshops are bad and how it's hurting, these people in developing countries. But again, social entrepreneurship is different because it tells us that it's not just about business ethics, that, it's not about going out to maximize profit, to bring in a great amount of, or outsourcing and insourcing, etc. But I see it as a way to try to cultivate and bring in new ideas, to bring in new ways that not only are making the world a better place, but I see it as a way to gather people, unite people from businesses like hotels who have soap, and providing them with an opportunity. And but also it's allowing them to help, but it's also allowing others like us who would never really have the opportunity to have such a hands-on opportunity to kind of to be part of changing the world at such a young age. And so I think that it also, this idea also is different from traditional forms of business, because I see it as kind of segregated. But soap cycling and social entrepreneurships unites all these chains: the business, the traditional businesses, the hotels, the charity organization, and of course the developing countries, or those in need. Yes, one of the remarkable things I've learned from being an intern for the past semester is that I always thought that if it's business, it's always business. If it's education, it's education. It's all segregated, and there's no connection whatsoever. But really, through this internship, I've learned that in this social venture, social entrepreneurship, that it is about encompassing all aspects and to uniting them all. In education, really, I never thought that soap cycling would be so keen and so interested in promoting their programs and trying to put youth in leadership positions. This is obvious through establishing an education department themselves, but also recognizing that most of the interns and workers are all university students. And I think that for me, that has made an impact to me, because it has inspired me to believe that it's not just that we can do something now. I think sometimes it's so easy to say that yes, we're the future generation, we're the future society, etc., but we never really feel like we get opportunities to really try to be at the front line, and doing something. And for me, being a part of the education team, going from knowing nothing at all what to do, and being able to plan activities, think so thoroughly, and ultimately kind of gradually seeing, as we've kind of contacted schools, and I think certain past semesters, students have actually come to the warehouse and done different things. To me, it has been so enlightening, because I can see that what I'm doing is not some theoretical thing, or that it's some kind of big plan without action. And I think that that to me has been a great opportunity to witness and be a part of.